What is up, everybody? It's Cody with Blood Money MMA Bets, and I'm back with another full card breakdown. This is for Vegas 88, Tuivasa versus Tybura, and it's a decent card. It's got a couple okay fights on it. It's got some really good betting spots. I already have 4 solid bets in for this card, so I'm really looking forward to it. Everybody, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for me. Drop a comment, help the algorithm, help these videos get big. I feel like I'm dropping good information off here, so if anything you can do to help out will help. We're going to do a quick recap of UFC 299, and then we'll get right into this UFC Vegas 88 card. UFC 299, I went 3-2 on my bets for plus 2.25 units. Mr. Pay-Per-View showed up again. That's 5 winning weeks in a row. My 3 winning bets were I had Dustin Poirier parlayed with Parisian under 1.5 rounds, Dustin Poirier over 3.5 rounds for 1 winning bet. My second winning bet was Vergara versus Alembov over 2.5 rounds for plus 3.15 units. The Despain Parisian under 1.5, Poirier versus Benoit Saint Denis under 3.5 for plus 3 units. My third winning bet was O'Malley versus Vera over 3.5 parlay with Gamrot versus RDA. Fight goes to decision for plus 3 units. My 2 losing bets, I had Kevin Holland minus 3.9 units. And man, he won that second round. I thought he was going to come out in the third and land that takedown and get the win. He just didn't. MVP looked pretty good, man. So that was a good win for him. And my second losing bet was Mikhail Olajaychik. He just got hit to the body early, man. He's a junkyard dog, but man, when you take a shot to the body, there's not much you can do about it. So 3-2 on the bets plus 2.25 units. Like I said, that's 5 winning weeks in a row. That brings my 2024 record to 21-17 for minus 1.75 units, but as we know, I was down 26 units before this 5-week winning streak. So to get that down to 1.75, and we're going to get that back on this next card, I'm pretty proud of that. And we're going to still get plus 100 units on this year. It's not hard. I just need to get 20 units a month, something like that, and I can do that. So 2023 or overall 318 and 230 for plus 11,720 overall. And it's only going to get better from here. That's another winning week. I'm happy about that. 5 weeks in a row. I'm about to make that 6. I'm going to get that up to 10, and then we're going to run it to 20. Everybody, if you want to get my bets for free during the week, I post a bet each night, each day during the week on Instagram and Twitter. It's Blood Money MMA Bets. The links are in the description. My Layer Cake Patreon, it's $10 a month. That's where you're going to get all my early bets. You're going to get my Layer Cake Parlay. You're going to get my 10 best bets in order of confidence, prop bets, a lot of different stuff. And I'm always on there interacting and stuff. It's $10 a month. And like I said, just the line movement alone that you're going to be is going to pay for that tenfold. FaceMeetFist, shout out to him, man, with the Blood Money MMA Bets gear, his gear, all kinds of stuff. That link's in the description. Go under sponsors, it's Blood Money MMA Bets, and that's where you find all my super cool gear. A contest winner from last week that won a free Blood Money t-shirt is Drew 17028. His 3-fight parlay was Blades, Poirier, and O'Malley at plus 584. So Drew, hit me up on Instagram or Twitter, message me, and I'll get that sent out to you. I also want to shout out Jenna Marie. I'll put up a picture next week. But she got a nice Blood Money MMA Bet shirt, sweatshirt, and got some pictures. I'll put that up next week. I'm in a hurry today. About to catch a flight in about an hour and a half to go out to Lake Tahoe, take my girlfriend out there. So I'm happy about that. So I had to do all this stuff early. But yeah, man, it was another good night last night. I got 4 bets. Like I said, if you want to check out the Patreon to get them lines early, but if not, I'll be posting them during the week on Instagram and Twitter. And let's get right into that first fight. First fight is in the women's bantamweight division. We got Josie Ann Nunes versus Chelsea Chandler. Josie Ann Nunes is 10-1, 30 years old, 5'2" with the 67-inch reach. Chelsea Chandler's 5'2", 33 years old, 5'8" with the 68-inch reach. So you'll see that Chelsea Chandler has only 1 inch of reach, but she's got 6 inches of height on Josie Ann Nunes. Nunes, man, she's a powerful striker. She's throwing bombs with both hands. Her left hand, which she's southpaw, her left hand's deadly, man. You've seen her hit Ramon Pascal, hurt her a bunch. You've seen her finish Bay Malecki with a big overhand left. She'll throw decent leg kicks, and she's only got okay takedown defense, man. She's gotten takedown by Pasquale. She was controlled for about a minute and a half of that fight in the first round. And then against Zara Farron, man, that was a back and forth battle. It stayed standing the whole time. But, man, she was taking some big shots, and she was giving some big shots. She really seems like a brawler the way she wants to go out there and just throw overhands. But she has some power, and she's pretty technical, and she's super durable. She took a beating against Zara Farron in the first round and came back and got that win. Chelsea Chandler, she's weird. She's a giant girl. She's fast in the cage. She can run, as we seen in her last fight with Dumont. But no, she's a really big girl, and she wants to be a bully in there. She fights out of Stockton with the Diaz brothers, and she comes in with the attitude like that. Well, she's a southpaw with power in her left, man. She just looks to line that left up. She kind of leans over and just tries to line the left up, hit you with a straight one. Hit Dumont with it a couple times. Had a decent fight other than, getting cracked and taken off running. But she was taken down a couple times there. She was able to survive. She's got good jiu-jitsu. That's what she is. She's a jiu-jitsu fighter. She's got decent wrestling. It's not the best, but she's a big, strong girl. And if she gets you to the ground, she's very heavy on top, like you've seen against Stoliarenko, where she was able to pound her out in the first round. She survived it armbar against Stoliarenko and made it look easy. So her jiu-jitsu is good. This is going to be a weird girl fight. Both these girls aren't like the most technical girls. They're both mean, big, like powerful girls throwing heat. I'm going to take Chelsea Chandler again in this. I'm going to say that she is able to land some takedowns and get on top of Nunes. She's so much bigger. And if she gets on top of Nunes, man, she may be able to get the job done. But I'm just staying away from this fight as a whole. Going to watch it. It's the first fight of the night. So it'll probably have a lot of craziness happen, especially with them two girls. But I'm going to take Chelsea Chandler just because I like the grappling upside. See Nunes taken down, but I'm not very high on it at all. Next fight is in the men's bantamweight division. We got Chad and Helliger taking on Charalampos Grigori. He looked pretty good on the Contender Series, if you remember him from that. But Chad and Helliger, he had a good win over Muin Gasarov on the Contender Series also. But he's 12-7. Currently sitting at plus 170, 37 years old, 5'6" with a 64-inch reach. Charalampos is 8-3, currently sitting at minus 200. He's 31 years old, 5'7" with a 76.5-inch reach. And I'm going to call bullshit on that. That has to be messed up. There's no way that dude has a 76.5-inch reach. That's like a middleweight or higher, and this dude's only 5'7". But and Helliger, man, he's actually a really well-rounded fighter. He's been in there with some decent fighters. His last fight with Jose Johnson was a back-and-forth fight. He took some big shots, some big knees in the first round, and was getting beat up a little bit, and then came back and actually looked like he won the second. And then in the third round, Johnson ended up taking over, but he's huge. Got beat up versus Ali Halatang, knocked out Jussie Strader, and then, like I said, on the Contender Series, beat Muin Gafarov. But he's a good, well-rounded fighter. He's got good boxing. He's got really good movements and feints. He can be low output at times, but he's got decent power, man. You see him knock out Brady Heastan on the regional scene, knock out Jussie Strader. He's got power in both hands, and he switches stances. Pretty good kicks, pretty good offensive wrestling and defensive wrestling, and pretty good jiu-jitsu. I know he got choked out last time, and he's been submitted like 4 times, but the other 4 submissions were like 7 years ago, so he's getting better. Charalampos, man, I went back and watched some tape on this guy, and he's pretty good, I don't think he's as crazy good as he looked on the Contender Series, because I don't think Cameron Smotherman's all that good. So he looked really good getting that really quick KO with him. But in some other fights, against some lower level guys like Chris Disnell, that was 6-5. He went to the 5th round with him with leg kicks, and that guy was not that good. And then this dude, Joey Krisamoto or whatever, he was 2-5, and that guy almost made it to the 3rd round with him. And to be honest, he looked like he was slowing down in the 2nd round, but that dude just slowed down more and was very, very low level. But like I said, this is just a couple fights ago. This is within the last year that he's going toe to toe, and going deep with these guys that have very low records and very low skills. To be honest, he does have good striking. You see, he has power in his hands. He throws a lot of spinning stuff. Okay, wrestling and jiu-jitsu. He trains out of Serra Longo, so I'm sure it's getting better, but he's definitely a striker to start. He does show some decent offensive wrestling, but that's against 2-5 guys. So, what can we really take from that? Honestly, I'm going to take Chad and Helliger here. I think that he has a cardio advantage. I think that he may even have the grappling advantage, and the striking won't be that. Like, Chad and Helliger is very durable in the striking. He's never been knocked out. So he's going to be able to take what punches Grigori has. And I think Helliger has more skills, and I think that he has better cardio. So give me Chad and Helliger as a big underdog. Next fight is in the women's strawweight division. We got Corey McKenna versus Jacqueline Amorim. Corey McKenna is 8-2, currently sitting at plus 105. She's 24 years old, 5'3", with a 58.5-inch reach. Well, and Tapology is correct on that. They're not wrong like Grigori's on the last one. But yeah, man, that's a very low reach. But Amorim is 7-1, currently sitting at minus 115, 28 years old, 5'3", with a 68-inch reach. So she's going to have 9.5 inches of reach on McKenna. It won't really matter, though, because Amorim's a jiu-jitsu girl. She's not going to be pumping her jab out for 3 rounds and using her reach. So Corey McKenna, man, very improved striking. I like their boxing. I liked what it looked like last fight against Cheyenne Velismus. She wasn't really able to get to takedowns till later in the fight, and she was boxing with her very well. Velismus is a striker. She dominated Miranda Granger when she used her grappling because she has pretty good wrestling, but really good BJJ, especially on top. She didn't use it against Elise Reed till the 3rd round, ended up losing a striking battle to her, which she never should have. And got a good win over Vanessa Demopoulos. She's super young. She's only 24 years old. And she's going to be improving fight to fight. Definitely her striking's improving. And when she gets her grappling going, she's very heavy on top. She's strong, and she's able to hold girls down. But Amorim is a world championship jiu-jitsu girl. So she has good striking, decent power. She doesn't really like to strike for long. She's going to throw a couple power punches, duck under, try to take you down and grapple you. And it's worked decent in the UFC. She got her last win over Montserrat Ruiz, but then lost the fight before that to Sam Hughes, where she took Sam Hughes down in the 1st round, controlled her, almost finished her like 3 different times. Hughes survived. Amorim slowed down, and Hughes was able to take her down the rest of the fight, just stay safe on top. They really didn't have to strike. And then in the Montserrat Ruiz fight, she landed a couple big shots, and like I said, grappled her to a win. In this fight, man, I have to take Corey McKenna. I have to take Corey McKenna because she's got the jiu-jitsu, in my opinion, to survive on the ground. I think she's going to have a little bit better striking standing up. I think she's going to have a little bit better cardio. And I think by the 2nd round, she'll be on top of the jiu-jitsu exchanges. And Amorim slows down. I don't see her finishing McKenna. McKenna's very good on the ground. So give me Corey McKenna. I like her as the underdog pick. Next fight is in the men's flyweight division. We have Ode Osborne versus Jeffel Fiallo. Osborne is 12-6, currently sitting at plus 135, 32 years old, 5'7", with a 73-inch reach. Fijo is 15-3, 30 years old, 5'7", with a 68.5-inch reach. So you see Ode is going to have about 5.5 inches of reach. And this is going to be a good fight. Ode Osborne, man, he's got pretty good striking. It's explosive, it's fast, it's very long. He's able to pick guys apart like Charles Johnson from range and just using speed. He's very fast. He's got good leg kicks, good punches, and decent flying knees. He's got okay offensive wrestling, okay defensive wrestling, and terrible submission defense. He's been submitted 3 submission losses, and at least 2 in the UFC, where Kelleher got him and then Asu got him in the last fight. But got knocked out by Tyson Nam. Had that decent win over Charles Johnson, but he really doesn't. I mean, the Vergara win, Vergara didn't really fight for the 1st round. So when Ode finally gassed out in the 3rd round, Vergara wasn't able to take advantage of it. But the key to beat Ode has always been grappling, dude. And Fiallo is a great grappler. He's got pretty good wrestling, and what he lacks in the actual just technical wrestling, he makes up in just staying on you. Keeps on the takedown, will follow you, grab you, drag you across the ring, do what he's got to do to get you to the ground. And once he gets you to the ground, man, he's an animal. Seen in his last fight, he got hurt so bad to the body by Daniel Barres. Like 2 times, got dropped, got hurt. Then he got up and just went nuts, started landing some shots of his own, went on a rampage, and then was able to get Barris to the ground and then choked him out shortly after that. He had a really good fight with Mohamed Makayev, where he had Makayev in a knee bar in the 3rd round that would have ended 97% of most fighters, but Makayev toughed it out. And then you've seen on the Contender Series where he was able to knock out Robert Echeverria with that left hook in the 3rd round after a really good back and forth fight. But the dude's well-rounded. He's got power on his feet. He's got power. He's got excellent jiu-jitsu, good wrestling, and really good cardio and toughness. I got to take Fiallo here, man. I think that he's going to have the striking to stand with Ode. He'll probably take some decent shots in the 1st round, but he's very durable. And once he gets his grappling going and wears on Ode loses all explosion. He loses all heart. He loses all everything. So I'm going to take Fiallo, and I'm going to say by 2nd or 3rd round submission, give Ode his 4th submission loss. Next fight is in the men's middleweight division. We got Gerald Meerschaert versus Brian Barberina. A veteran fight here. Gerald Meerschaert's 35-17. 36 years old, 6'1" with a 77.5-inch reach. Barberina is 18 and 11, current 34 years old, 6 foot with a 72-inch reach. And Meerschaert's minus 190, Barberina's plus 140. Gerald Meerschaert, man, like I said, veteran, well-rounded, decent striking. He's pretty slow, but he does have decent power on his feet. He's got a good jab. That's what he used to beat Mahmoud Muradov. After he got beat up in the first round, he started jabbing him, putting pressure on him, and kind of overwhelmed him. But his bread and butter is obviously going to be his grappling, because even in the striking, he's been knocked out numerous times. So it's never really good to just trust his chin. I mean, even Ian Heinisch got him. He looked decent in the striking against Petrosky, but he has terrible striking. So his real thing is decent wrestling and really good jiu-jitsu, man. And he keeps that strength and them submissions deep into the fight. He usually finishes guys in the third round when they slow down after they beat him up for a little while, like Bruno Silva, Trevin Giles. There's just a lot of people he's finished in the third round. Dustin Stolfus, Bruno Silva, like I said, Darren Wynn, Trevin Giles, like most of his wins are third round wins, man, in very close fights. He's going to be fighting Brian Barberina, who's got pretty good striking, man. He throws a ton of volume. He's super tough, super durable, good movement, good feints. And he, like I said, really good cardio, really durable. But his problem is he doesn't have great takedown defense, and he doesn't have the best jiu-jitsu. It's not the worst, but it's not the best. But he does have a pretty decent get-up game. This fight's kind of hard to call because Gerald Meerschaert doesn't always stick to a game plan, and he doesn't have the greatest wrestling in the world. So it's not a full given that he's just going to be able to get this fight to the ground. But when you got Barberina coming up from 170, he looked pretty fat in his last fight against Muradov, and you got Gerald Meerschaert, who's a pretty big 185er, I'm going to assume that he's going to be able to get the fight to the ground and get some control time and either a submission in the third round like he always does, or he just gets a decision. He probably have a little bit of striking to do, but he can hang on the striking with Barberina. So I'm not all that confident. I'm not going to be betting that fight, but I do like Gerard Meerschaert to get that done. Next fights in the men's welterweight division. We got Brian Battle versus Ange Loosa. Brian Battle is 10-2, currently sitting at minus 150, 29 years old, 6'1" with a 77-inch reach. Ange Loosa is 10-3, currently sitting at plus 120, 5'10" with a 74-inch reach. So you see Brian Battle's 3 inches taller with 3 inches of reach. He's just going to be the bigger dude here. Brian Battle, I really like this dude, man. When he fights, he stands up tall. And he, like he did against AJ Fletcher, and he makes you kind of come to him, and then he just picks you apart. He has excellent kicks with both legs, and he has really good punches with both hands. And then he's got super durability, super cardio. His grappling's looking way better. You've seen him take down AJ Fletcher, and he's just so big on these dudes at welterweight, man, that he just wore on him and was able to rear naked choke Fletcher. And we know Fletcher's tough as hell, man. We've seen him survive with Semmelsberger. We've seen him survive with Ange Loos when they had a crazy fight. You've seen the power in his hands against Gabe Green. I mean, knocked him out in 14 seconds. Then you see the head kick power against Takashi Sato. So in his last 3 fights, he's head kicked the guy to sleep. He's punched the guy to sleep. And them two were within 60 seconds of the first round. And then he choked the guy out. So you can see his game is just getting better and better. And he's got an attitude on him. And I like that, man. I like these dudes don't want to be tough and think nobody can beat him. Ange Loos, man, this dude's tough too. He's well-rounded. He's not really great anywhere. He's got decent striking, decent wrestling, decent jiu-jitsu, but he's durable as hell, and he's got pretty good cardio, and he's going to be there for the whole 3 rounds for the most part. He's never been finished. Had a good fight with Jack Della, had a good fight with Monir Lazez, AJ Fletcher, Reese McKee. But if you look, man, his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights have gone to decision. So he don't get finished, but he's also not finishing anybody because he doesn't really hit the hardest. He packs a punch and he's throwing decent volume, but he doesn't really, no one-shot knockout, 7 decisions in a row. I'm going with Brian Battle here. I like his size. I like his well-roundedness. I think he can beat Loosa anywhere this fight goes. Loosa's not going to out-cardio him, and he's not going to out-value him. So give me Brian Battle, and I think that he could either get I know Ange Loos is hard to finish, but he got so hurt against AJ Fletcher, dude. He was going all around the ring. It was crazy for like 30 seconds while Fletcher was still cracking him. If Brian Battle hits him with one of them head kicks or something, this fight will be over. But give me Brian Battle. I'm going to say by decision. That's the safe thing, but third round or decision. Next fight is in the men's featherweight division. We got Christian Rodriguez versus Isaac Dalgarian, and this fight might be the best fight on the card, man. Christian Rodriguez coming up to 145 for the first time. He's 10-1, or not for the first time. He actually fought Jonathan Pierce at 145 before. I want to put that in there. But 10-1, 26 years old, 5'7" with a 71-inch reach. Isaac Dalgarian, 6-0, 27 years old, 5'7" with a 71-inch reach. So you see C-Rod's coming up to 145, but him and Dalgarian are going to be the exact same height and reach. But I'm going to assume that Dalgarian is going to be a little thicker, just being a natural 145 guy. He's probably cutting more weight to get down there. But Christian Rodriguez is super well-rounded, man. The kid has pretty good takedown defense and an even better get-up game. He never accepts bottom. He never accepts any position on the bottom, and he's got excellent jiu-jitsu, defensive and offensive. You've seen against Jonathan Pierce when he fought him short notice at 145, his first fight in the UFC. He was taken down a lot, but he almost guillotined Jonathan Pierce a couple times in that fight. He had some reversals, and anytime they were on the feet, he was touching Pierce up, man. And Pierce just had to keep shooting. You could tell at the end, Pierce said that he was so tired and that Rodriguez is a beast, man. He really is. You've seen another fight that's similar to like a Isaac Dalgarian, Jonathan Pierce fight was this Raul Rosas fight, where Rosas came out, shot like crazy, took him down in the first round, took his bag, tried some submissions, did a lot of stuff, and C-Rod just survived it, stayed calm. And in the second round, he came out and Rosas couldn't hit the takedown. C-Rod was hitting the takedown. C-Rod was getting the top control. C-Rod was winning the striking exchanges. And just very well-rounded. Then he came in 5 pounds overweight in his last fight against Cameron Simone. But I'm high on Simon, and he showed excellent skills in that fight. Really good toughness, really good cardio, because Simone put it on him a little, tried to put it on him in the third, and he kept right up with it, won that unanimous decision. He just hits hard. His punches are really straight and crisp. I like that. Excellent cardio, excellent toughness, well-rounded, and very hard to finish. Isaac Dalgarian, man, this dude is a savage. He's fought very, very, very low-level competition, but he got rid of them. He dispatched them as he should. Every single one of his wins are in the first round, amateurs to pro, all of them mostly under 2 minutes, where he's just taking guys down. He beats them up until they give up a submission. They don't want to give up a submission. He'll knock them out with punches. You see him against Francis Marshall, man. He came out, shot a takedown really quick. Wasn't even the best takedown, but he was able to get it, and then he just controlled Marshall and beat him up, and Marshall looked like he kind of wanted out of there by the end of that. But he was like a national. So he took second place in the Division II National Wrestling Tournament as a freshman, which is crazy. If you know anything about wrestling, to get to the national tournament and get to even first or second place as a freshman is pretty crazy, because you're wrestling other 22, 23-year-olds, stuff like that. So his wrestling's phenomenal. His grappling is phenomenal. He's very heavy on top. We just haven't seen him out of the first round. And to be honest, I don't think his striking looks that good. Like, you barely ever see it, because he's like these other guys, like the good grapplers, where he's going to throw a couple big bombs to get you putting your hands up, and then he shoots in. He's going to take Rodriguez down in the first round. That is a fact. We've seen Rodriguez get taken down, but Rodriguez is going to fight it. He's going to keep getting up, scrambling, and wear on Dalgarian, in my opinion. And then when we get to the second round, which is uncharted territory for all Dalgarian, if he can't land the takedowns and just get complete control, because like I said, we know Christian Rodriguez never just gets taken down, lays on his back, and you're going to get 2 minutes of control time, beat him up with shots. He's moving. He'll even give up his back to get up, which is dangerous, man. And I would think that Dalgarian would be able to get him with some type of sub or something if I hadn't seen him survive all them nice Raul Rosas subs, all them Jonathan Pierce subs. The kid's tough, the kid's durable, and he's just well-rounded. And I think that if he can keep this fight standing, he's going to win that striking battle for sure. And I think he keeps this fight standing by the second round. So give me Christian Rodriguez as an underdog here, and I think he can get this fight done, man. I think he wins by decision, or maybe he gets a finish later. We do not know what Dalgarian, what his cardio is going to be like, so we'll see. Next fight is in the men's 155-pound division. We got Thiago Moises versus Mitch, the fight stalker Ramirez, dude. That's a hilarious nickname. Thiago Moises, 17-7, 28 years old, 5'9", with a 70.5-inch reach. Mitch Ramirez is 8-1, 31 years old, 5'11", with a 71-inch reach. So you see Ramirez is going to be 2 inches taller with a half an inch of reach. Thiago Moises, man, this is a short notice fight. He was supposed to fight somebody else, but Mitch Ramirez, that person got hurt. Mitch Ramirez filled in. Moises is well-rounded. He's a technical striker with decent power. He's got good wrestling offensively and defensively, and then he's a high-level black belt. If he can get on top of you and just take you down the whole fight, he'll take you down. He'll control you. If he can take your back, he'll choke you out. And like I said, on the feet, he's got really good boxing. He's fast. He's technical. And he's just a well-rounded guy. He's been in the UFC for a long time. He's been training at ATT since he was like 16 years old, so he's very well-rounded, you know. But he's had some ups and downs in his last couple fights. He got that nice win over Giagos and Melquez Costa on short notice, but then he ran into the God of War, Saint Denis, and as we know, that's a problem, you know. So but he lost to Makachev and then that crazy loss to Alvarez. But other than that, man, he's beat Bobby Green, Michael Johnson, Anthony Hernandez. He's a pretty good fighter. Mitch Ramirez, I went back and watched a lot of his fights. You've seen him on the Contender Series get knocked out by Carlos Prates, but that was up at 180 or 170. He's 155er. He went up to take that fight on short notice against Prates, but I think he had fought at 185 before a couple times. But he took a lot of short notice fights in his career. If you go watch him, even his last fight against this Arian Tavares, he took that on short notice and he ended up getting the knockout there. But he's got power in both hands. He's kind of like a slugger, man, where he's not really the most technical, but he throws heat with both hands. He's very tough. He's very durable, and he's always coming forward. He'll take one of your shots to give him one. I've seen him land a couple takedowns, but I haven't got to see what his full ground game is about because he really wants to strike. So it's a big, you know, I don't know what he's going to do in that. So if this just stays standing, he would have a chance to win this fight, even though Thiago Moises and his wins over Bobby Green and Alexander Hernandez, I think they have better boxing than Mitch Ramirez. So I'm taking Thiago Moises here, plus with that possible grappling advantage. But if he takes the back, you know, Thiago could get the sub. I haven't seen no lines or anything like that, so I'm curious to see it. But I'm going to take Thiago Moises in this fight. Next fights in the men's featherweight division, we got Josh Culibao versus Danny Silva. Josh Culibao is 11-2-1, 29 years old, 5'10" with a 73-inch reach. Eric Silva, 8-1, 27 years old, 5'11" with a 70-inch reach. So you see Silva's 1 inch taller, but Culibao has 3 inches of reach. Culibao, man, he has a really, really nice long, rangy Muay Thai style. He throws a ton of volume. You know, he's got really good front kicks to the body. He's got good leg kicks. He comes up top with like just awkward angle kicks. You know, he's just like whipping that leg around. Good movement, darts in with strikes. He's got like really long legs, and that's why he's just moving, and he can just whip head kicks up, whip the power leg kicks, and just keep moving. I like his switch stance striking. He's got pretty good offensive and defensive grappling. You see Melsik Bagdasaryan threw a kick and slipped in that fight, that Melsik was winning. And Josh Culibao just took his back and choked him out quick. You see him have the wars with Sung Woo Choi, and even a decent fight with Jalen Turner. His fight with Charles Jourdain was really good, where he hurt Jourdain, almost finished him in the first round, and then ended up getting the draw. But he's a good, well-rounded fighter, man. He did take a beating against Ron Murphy last fight, but Murphy used a lot of grappling against him. And Ron Murphy is a strong dude that's very, very technical. Was at home and just had the grappling advantage, and then had the striking to deal with Culibao too. Danny Silva, man, I'm really impressed with this kid. If you go watch his fight on the Contender Series with what's his name, Pikachu or whatever, Pacheco. That guy, man, that was Angel Pacheco, tough as hell, dude. Shout out to both these guys. That was one of the best fights I've seen on the Contender Series ever. Them dudes just stayed in boxing range in a phone booth and beat the shit out of each other the whole time. Super tough. He's got excellent boxing, Danny Silva. He boxes from both a switch stance boxing, but that's really what he does. He throws some power leg kicks. They're thudding. He doesn't really wrestle too much. He's got decent offensive and defensive wrestling, but he just wants to box you, man. He wants to hit you with that left hand. His lead left hook is dangerous. His jab's nice. Super durable. He wants to stay in the pocket and just unload, man. Like I said, him and Pacheco threw hundreds and hundreds of punches, man, and thudding, dude. It was nice. Once he started working the bodies, when he really started getting the damage done. But this fight's going to be so good, man. Like, this is going to be an excellent fight. I'm going to take Culibao because he's just got some better experience at this point. I like his kicking game. I like his movement. He's going to be able to move a lot and not just stand there and let Danny Silva punch him, you know, in the face like Pacheco did. And then he may have some grappling upside in this fight too. But, man, Danny Silva's so fun, and he's a big underdog. And I don't know if he should be that big of an underdog because he's a junkyard dog. So he's going to fight for your money. I just like the kicking skills of Culibao here, man. And like I said, possible grappling skills and just that experience. He's been in there with Jalen Turner, LaRon Murphy, Sung Woo Choi, all these guys, you know, Melsik Bagdasaryan. So he's seen a lot, and I think he gets this win here. Next fight is a rematch at 135. We have female bantamweight. We have Penny Kianzad versus Macy Chiasson. Kianzad is 16-7, 32 years old, 5'7" with a 66-inch reach. Macy Chiasson, 8-3, 32 years old, 5'11" with the 72-inch reach. So you see she's 4 inches taller with 6 inches of reach. She's definitely the bigger girl. These guys fought for the Ultimate Fighter finale where Macy Chiasson was able to take her down, beat her up, and finished Penny in the second round. I will say that Kianzad has gotten better since then. But Kianzad, she's a boxer, man. She wants to box you up on the feet. She's got decent kicks. She's got a pretty good clinch, man. You see, if you watch her fight, go back and watch with Raquel Pennington. That was a very close fight, and she was doing very well in the clinch and actually taking Pennington down, which was weird because then you go watch her fight Ketlin Vieira in her last fight, and she couldn't stop a takedown or get up for nothing the whole fight. So it was very, very weird. But like I said, good boxing, good clinch, decent leg kicks, and then can't get off the ground if she gets taken down, but pretty decent takedown defense. Macy Chiasson, she's a beast, man. You've seen in her fight, she was winning that fight with Aldana before she got kicked right in the liver when she stood up kick to the liver, and she was on her way to winning that fight, which maybe, you know, Aldana got a title shot, so maybe Chiasson, they would have threw her in there. And she had that win over Norma Dumont up at 145 the fight before that, and then lost to Raquel Pennington on short notice. But she's a beast, man. She's got long kicks. Like I said, she's 5'11". She's got long boxing with some power. And what's been really, really good is her clinch these days, her clinch striking, and then her clinch grappling, man. She can get the takedown or the big strikes from the clinch, good elbows, good knees. And when she gets the takedown, man, she's very heavy on top. Like I'm impressed at how much her ground game has improved throughout her career. I'm taking Macy Chiasson here. I'm actually going to take her this time, though, by decision. I know she finished her last time, but they don't always go the same every single time. And I think Piani's got a little bit better, and I think that she's able to survive this time, but I'm still all over Macy Chiasson. Next fight is in the men's lightweight division. We got Beast Boy Mike Davis versus Natan Lethal Levy. Mike Davis is 10-2. 31 years old, 6 foot with a 72.5-inch reach. Natan Levy is 8-1, 32 years old, 5'9" with a 72-inch reach. And it's weird that Natan Levy's actually older than Mike Davis, man. I have high hopes for Mike Davis still. He doesn't fight that much. He's got 3 fights in 4.5 years since his fight on the Contender Series with Sadiq Youssef, man. That was an awesome fight, you know, and really, that's what gave me high hopes, even in a loss, man. That fight was amazing on the Contender Series, one of the most technical fights you're going to see, but he's just had some injuries and just some other bad luck, man. But when he fights, he's good. He's on a 3-fight winning streak. You've seen him fight Thomas Gifford, man. That was a beating. Thomas Gifford should have never been in the UFC. And then you've seen him take the short late replacement fight with Mason Jones, who we know Mason Jones is a beast. Good cardio, good striking, good grappling. And that was a really good fight, man. And that was a dog fight. And Beast Boy stayed with him all 3 rounds in a complete dogfight, man. Them dudes, they both used a ton of cardio, took a ton of damage. They were trading leg kicks like crazy, and just like Beast Boy ended up mixing in the wrestling and getting that win, man. Dug deep. Same thing with Vyacheslav Borshev, man. He was able to handle the striking, and then he used a ton of grappling in this fight, man. He's a big dude. He's 6 foot. His hands are super fast. Like, his hands are super fast. He's got crazy power. He's got crazy head kicks, crazy leg kicks, and then super tough, super durable, and good wrestling. Like, this kid has been training to fight since he was a little kid, man. And he was training with Customato's at Customato's gym, dude, getting boxing in and stuff. So Natan Levy, this dude's good. You know, he's got like a karate base, but he's got a good kicking game. He's southpaw. He'll throw good leg kicks, really good body kicks, and he's got a fast left head kick. Decent boxing, but he's not all that dangerous. You know what I mean? Like, his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of his last 7 fights have went to decision, and his only win was over the only finish was over Shehan Santana with the arm triangle in the Contender Series 4 years ago, you know. But since then, he had that good fight with Rafa Garcia where he took the loss, but it was a good back and forth fight between 2 younger dudes, where he was just out grappled in that. And then Mike Breeden, go watch that Mike Breeden fight back. That's why I picked Mike Breeden over Anshaw Jubilee, because how the pressure he put on Natan Levy. It was actually even money going in the 3rd round, and I thought that Breeden won the 2nd round. I thought Breeden won the 3rd round, so I thought he was going to win. They gave the unanimous to Levy, which was crazy. But that's what helped me make my bet with Breeden over Anshaw Jubilee, because I knew he was a beast. He was the dog. And then in that fight with Genaro Valdez, man, that was a back and forth fight. He got hurt a couple times. He hurt Valdez, and they went 3 hard rounds, and it was a pretty good fight. But like I said, he's got good striking. He can mix in the grappling on lower level guys, but he doesn't have the best jiu-jitsu to hold guys down. But he's tough. He's got decent cardio. He does slow down in the 3rd round in tough fights a little bit. And he's just a tough dude. But in this fight, he's going to be outgunned. Mike Beast Boy is going to be 3 inches taller than him with a little bit of reach. He's going to have the way crisper boxing. To me, he's going to have the harder leg kicks. He's going to have the better movement. And I think he's the one that's going to be able to have, he's going to have the wrestling advantage. So I like Beast Boy here everywhere. I like his cardio. I like his toughness. I think this is the toughest guy that Natan Levy has fought in his whole career. Like Beast Boy's ranked 43rd. And I know this ain't going to mean nothing for a fight, but it means something. You have to look at every single stat. Beast Boy's ranked 143 lightweight on the world, and Natan Levy's number 81. That's a lot of that. That's like 37 people in between these guys. That's a big difference. And I think it's going to show up on that fight. So give me Mike Davis. I don't know if he finishes Natan Levy, but I do know he gets the clear victory. Co-main event is the men's 205-pound division. We got Kennedy Njoku versus Ovince St. Preux. Kennedy Njoku is 12-4, 31 years old, 6'5" with the 83-inch reach. Ovince St. Preux is 26-17, 40 years old, almost 41. He'll be 41 in almost the time this fight starts. About 2 weeks after this fight, he'll be 41. 6'3" with the 80-inch reach. So you see Kennedy's going to have 2 inches of height, 3 inches of reach. Kennedy Njoku, man, he's had some bad luck. He's took some bad shots, in the UFC, but he's also looked really, really good, man. In his last couple fights, he did get knocked out by Dustin Jacoby. He took a clean right hand and ended up getting finished. But Dustin Jacoby's an excellent striker with good power, and he's 33, 34 years old. He's not 41. But against Devin Clark, man, he came out, took a decent shot to the head and then was able to survive it and then just beat the crap out of Devin Clark. Same thing with Ian Cutelaba, took a big shot there, was taken down, survived all that, and then ended up kneeing him in the face when Cutelaba took a bad shot in the second and then ended up finishing him. Against Carl Robertson, he showed off his new grappling game, man. He took him down, beat him up for all 3 rounds, and then finished him in the third. Had a close fight with Neguramanu, man, where he got the split decision loss because he kept poking him in the eye, but he was winning that fight. And just look good. He's got a win over Carlos Ulberg, and then he's got power in his hands. He's got a good clinch with good elbows. And like I said, he's showing a ton of improvement in his grappling. He's only 31 years old. He's only getting better. And he's a giant dude. Ovince St. Preux is almost 41. He's just not good. He's just not good no more. You know what I mean? His last fight against Felipe Lenz, he got ended in 49 seconds. The first punch that hit him, he wanted to get out of there. His fight before that with Mauricio Shogun Rua, the ghost of Shogun Rua, a year and a half ago, he won that by split, but he lost that. Shogun, the worst version of Shogun that's ever existed in history, beat him in that fight. I don't care what anybody says. And Shogun, is old and slow too, but Ovince St. Preux has 1 round of gas, man. Tanner Bozer got him out of there. Jamal Hill got him out of there. Now, 4 years ago, he did get Alonzo Menefield, but that was Alonzo Menefield was just rushing in and got caught. But dude, getting beat by Ben Rothwell. Moral of the story is Ovince St. Preux doesn't have nothing left. He's not finishing Kennedy. He only has 1 round of gas, and he's not even dangerous in that first round. Kennedy can beat him either standing up and knock him out, or he can take him down and just beat on him because Kennedy has a crazy cardio and crazy gas tank. So Kennedy's going to win this fight, whichever way he wants to win it. There's no way, in my opinion, that Kennedy gets beat in this fight. Next fight is the main event. We got Tai Tuivasa versus Marcin Tybura, and we got 2 big heavyweights. We got the striker versus the grappler. Tai Bam Bam Tuivasa is 15-6, 31 years old, 6'2" with the 75-inch reach. Marcin Tybura is 24-8. 6'3", 78-inch reach, 38 years old. So you see Tybura is 7 years older. He's got 1 inch of height and 3 inches of reach. Tai Tuivasa, man. Obviously, he throws crazy, powerful leg kicks. He's got power in both hands, man. He throws overhands. He throws 3-4 punch combinations, and all of them's trying to kill you. And he's got a pretty good clinch striking. He's got clinch elbows. That's what he knocked Derek Lewis out with, was that big elbow to the head. And he's a dog, man. He's going to fight for your money, but he has not been looking great lately. He's on the 3-fight losing streak, and I get it. It's Dagan, Pavlik, and Volkov, but they were all bad knockouts where he's just getting hurt. And I don't know, if you just watch like his social media and stuff, I don't know, man. He just doesn't seem like, I don't know how much serious in training he ever really did before, because he's always just drinking beers out of shoes and kind of coming out like a street fighter, but I'm sure he trained, but I don't know. I just think he maybe in a different part of life right now than to just fighting. But still, man, dangerous as hell. He just doesn't have the greatest takedown defense, and he can get up for that first round and a half. I went back and watched the fight with Sergey Spivak, and
you know, Spivak had to take him down a couple times, took him down a couple times in the first round, but Tuivasa got up, but Spivak was able to survive on the feet, which he's terrible, and then just landed more takedowns in the second and finally wore on Ty, and Ty couldn't get up and he finished him. But other than that, you know, Tuivasa kind of been knocking out bums, you know, Stefan Struve, Harry Hunsucker, Gary Hardy, Augusto Sakai. I'm gonna put some respect on that. That was a good win. Derek Lewis, you know, knockout king. But yeah, man, I don't think he's bad. And then you take them 3 bad knockouts. How much is he training? What's he still going for? But what, like, is he still wanting to go for a title? We'll see. But Marcin Tybura, he's a little older, and yeah, he got knocked out by Tom Aspinall last fight, but that's freaking Tom Aspinall. And before that, he hadn't been knocked out for a long time. Like I said, Augusto Sakai was the last one to get him, but we can excuse that. Augusto Sakai don't play games, man. But he's been looking good. Other from that, he had a couple knockouts back there in 2017 and 19, but then tightened all that up and hadn't been knocked out in over 5 years till Aspinall got him. And he'd been in there with a couple punchers: Walt Harris, Greg Hardy, Blagoy Ivanov hits decently hard, but he was able to beat all them guys. And a lot of them was striking, and then he could mix in the grappling. You seen against Blagoy Ivanov is very close going into the third round, and then he just used grappling there to get the win. Blagoy's got a decent win over Tai Tuivasa. We don't do math here, but had a good win over Romanov. But he's just a very well-rounded fighter for a heavyweight. He's got good striking where he moves around. He can use his movement. He's got pretty good striking defense, and he's got decent pop in his punches himself. And then he's got good wrestling, man. He's got good clinch. He's got good wrestling. He's got good cardio, and he's got really good jiu-jitsu. He's a black belt. You've seen him beat up Sergey Spivak on the floor, was able to beat him up for 3 rounds. Just had some decent wins. You know, the Maxine Grisham win, he beat him up pretty good. But finished Walt Harris on the ground, finished Greg Hardy on the ground. I'm not going to probably most likely won't bet this fight. Probably maybe look at some unders or something, but I'm going to pick Tybura here. I'm going to say that he's able to stay safe on the feet. He's got good striking defense. And I'm going to say that he's going to be able to mix in the grappling. They're going to be in the small cage. I think he's going to be able to get his hands on Tuivasa, but I'm picking him. I'm going to say that he gets the 3rd round sub. But man, I'm probably going to stay away from it because Tai Tuivasa could easily punch him in the face and just end this fight super quick. You know what I mean? So that's all I got on that. But man, I appreciate everybody checking this out. It's not the greatest card, so you might want to kind of go light on it. But yeah, man, it's still a fun card. Everybody check out my Layer Cake Patreon. That's where you're going to get all my bets, my extra content early, so you can beat line movement with me. And if you just want to support my channel, say you've won some bets with my stuff and all that, you can just support my channel, get in there for a month, and then get your money worth, get you some content. But I appreciate everybody checking this out, and I will see you guys